Sega Lindbergh Universal Cabinet Restoration Part 6, Cleaning the Control Panel. Well, back after a bit of a break, stuck inside with the COVID lockdown, so a bit of a chance to do some more work. This is where we left the machine quite a few episodes ago. So the next step is to clean this control panel out, ready to put the panel in. Plenty of dust. It's easy to remove, 4 bolts on each, or in the front, inside the control panel, and 2 on each side, and then it just slides out. Basically just use a built-up grid in there. And it's the coke and moisture and stuff like that that really gets at it. The soft drinks eat into the paint, so even when you give it a clean, you get left with sort of this etched paint. You can't do much about it. So I unplugged all the harnesses, obviously. Always find something interesting in these machines. This is an old swipe card from City Amusements at Haymarket. I looked it up and it came up as time zone, so the machine spent a bit of time there, which is interesting to know. So I'm just cleaning it out with a combination of a wet rag, some paper towel, some Nifty, which I think is just ammonia and detergent. Wasn't too hard to clean. Being black, you always get fluff and dust and things. It just keeps coming back. You can't really get rid of it completely. And there you can see the sugar just from the soft drink all throughout it, sort of etched away. It's going to be home use only. I'm not going to hopefully spill anything on it again, so it doesn't really matter if some of the metal's exposed there. I was really happy with how it came apart. Sort of no real puzzles, you know, everything you look at makes sense. Obviously you've got to manage your screws, and I make a point of looking at each screw when I take it out, especially comparing ones from different sides, and when they're all the same length then you're comfortable knowing you can put them back in the same spot. But if you don't look at them, you don't notice that there might be short ones and long ones. Bit of gunk in there. That's the front strip now that I cleaned. For a little while I thought I might be able to turn it upside down, where those wristwatch damage marks are, but you can't because it forms part of the hinge. So I just polished them. They look alright. I don't mind that sort of history showing where the people have played the machine. Just speeding things up a bit here. That black inlay, it's sort of worn out, so it shows that control panels have been changed in this plenty of times for the different games over the last 10 years. Mostly cleaned out there. Still a bit of fluff and dust. I was happy that that cold cathode tube still worked, although each end had this sort of foam in it that had perished and gone really sticky like a tar, so I just left that. I couldn't really clean it. Then pretty much the finished product there. Those black bits you can see, it's just where the paint's been eaten away. It's all going to be covered, but looking really good now when it's clean. Okay, so this is from Noodle Shirt, which is an Australian graphic designer. He does arcade artwork amongst other things. And from him I've got a move strip or an instruction space, a billboard artwork, and the control panel. So here's the instruction space I had scanned from an original and made. It's like on a translite material, meaning that the light comes through the back. It does look a bit dark, but when you actually get a backlit, it lightens right up. So this is comparing the original. The original's got like a block out plastic on the back where no light comes through at all, which is those black parts. But you'll see here I'll lift it up a bit and I'll freeze frame it, and you can see it lightens up quite a bit. So when I bought the original one through, I think it was River Service in Japan, that was the last one they said Sega had. So that's the scan there that I just did on a photocopier, and then this is what the outcome was, which is really reproduced. He didn't make the new one from the old artwork, he just copied the style. Put the original in, then changed my mind, and then put in the new one. Putting it all back together, and what you're seeing here is sort of maybe 4 hours later. Took quite a while to clean everything in a bucket of hot water and scrub it. This might be 20 times speed, something like that. Nearly back together, and then putting my custom panel on, give it a clean, looking really good. Really happy with that. That was a bit of a job that I didn't want to do, but I'm happy how it turned out. And then what we'll do in the next video is put the overlay down. You can see here the overlay I've had made basically is in the theme of the Lindbergh with the Komarebi background. You'll see it in the next video on foil, but looks really good. So give me a few days and we'll have the next video up. Any questions, hit me up in the comments. Thanks for watching.